Meaning brothers, sisters, and elders, Salaam alaikum. I hope our sisters are here as well. Today's topic of discussion is the crisis ensuing from the meltdown of the economy with the resultant subprime mortgages and tightening of credits whereby even the stock markets worldwide have taken a bashing. People's lifetime savings have been slashed to almost nothing over a short period of time. Where does one invest his money? Properties have also taken a sizable bashing. Small to medium time investors have invested on properties, putting in a down payment, hoping to flip in the secondary market by making a good margin, but are now trapped as the subsequent installments are now due and the secondary markets are virtually dead. There are no buyers presently. All investors and end users are now playing a game of wait and see. Then there are those who have heavily invested into stock markets, directly and through funds and or mutual funds marketed by banks and insurance companies. Unfortunately, both the local and foreign banks have aggressively marketed these funds by offering leveraging up to 6 times the principal amount. Now, when all the funds are down, they are placing margin calls on their borrowed amounts, and these run into millions of dollars and have drastically eroded the people's lifetime savings and investments so much so that they have virtually wiped out the principal amounts in some cases. As far as pure life insurance is concerned, there is no need to panic as the vehicle of underlying investments are most likely to be low-risk funds, and they will catch up to average out in the future upturns. However, the medium to long-term savings to achieve a future goal like education, wedding, or income in retirement, these funds are best left invested and not encashed, as they have the tendency to bounce back without any notice, as upswings are sudden. Nobody can predict when the bear markets will bottom out. The experts have opined that it is now the right time to buy into stocks and funds when the markets are down. It is even suggested that you save on a regular basis, say monthly, so that you can create a dollar cost averaging by drip feeding your money in the markets. Thereby, you buy all the time, whether the markets are high, medium, or low. You pick more units for your money after a month of falling markets, meaning you will be better placed to catch the upturn when it comes. In fact, some people invest lump sums of money into the bear markets to make a killing when the markets bounce back. These are called the scavengers, who have cash flows with them and waiting for such opportunities to occur. As Mr. Mukhtar Hussain rightfully said about Warren Buffett, I also have to add something else. He said that profit from the folly rather than participate in it. By this, he goes to explain that when there is greed in the market, I fear and I don't buy. When there is fear in the market, I turn greedy and I buy and buy and buy. The folly of the investor's behavior is driven by sentiment and greed, so that he errs by pouring money when the markets are high and panicking when the markets are low, therefore encashing at a big loss. It is the time and not the timing that is key to investing. The longer you keep your money invested, the greater the opportunity you have to take a full advantage of the stocks and funds' immense potential for long-term growth. To give you an example, you take any 10 years in history, starting with a calamity, which heavily affected the stock and property markets worldwide. If you had stayed invested for your long-term to medium term, your monies would on average triple in value. I can give you historical facts to prove my point. Those who do it for short-term gains are most of the time losers, as their investments or encashments timings are wrong. From our Sharia point of view, short-term speculation, especially people borrowing money from banks by way of leveraging or loans to be used in investing in stocks, funds, and or property markets, is like gambling and therefore haram. Let us take the lesson from the idiotic American people, from sweepers to CEOs, who took huge mortgages, house loans, and were unable to pay their installments as they did not have their fundamentals correct. The banks did not do a proper due diligence on them and gave out loans at cheaper rates of interest. Very shortly, the American dream was shattered as subprime facilities ran up in form of securities and property prices did not match the repayable mortgages. So ordinary people started defaulting on their installments till such times that they were unable to pay back anything to the banks, who eventually had to repossess the property and could not resell in the secondary markets. They ended up holding a possession which was much lesser in value than the mortgage that they had dished out. It snowballed into the greatest bankruptcies of small as well as high-profile banks. The calamity spread to the stock markets and banks worldwide, the price of which we are globally paying heavily today. I have purposely shortened my presentation, hoping to tantalize you into probing and questioning the real issues so that everyone here today can proactively participate and give their views as to the solutions to our predicament. For those who need to see the charts and graphs for this presentation can contact me, and I shall be only too glad to send a soft copy to their emails. Thank you for patiently listening to me, and if you have any questions, please ask me at the question answer session. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Brother Hasnain Rajani.
Where's your drive?
I don't need it now. I just want the seminar. No, on the seminar.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Where's the flip? Okay. We'll do it from there. Yeah?